It's Christina from Card Making Magic. This is the card that I'm going to make today, and it's just a variation on a theme. This is the single zigzag card or trifold card, and this is the double zigzag card, and all the little bits on it are all just flat flowers so that it will fold into an envelope. So let's make a start with the single variety. All you're going to do is divide your piece of card equally into 3 parts, and I'm just going to make marks on the card so that you can see what I'm doing, and this will be my template. If you do the same, you can keep your template safe for the next time that you want to make the card. So there's the first part of it, divided into 3. And all you're going to do is score and fold those. So you're going to score and fold it so that one goes back and the other one comes forward, so that you have the Z shape. And once you've done that, you're going to decide how deep you want the card. So if you start at one corner and just work your way down to however deep you want the card, and I'm going to make another coloured line, and you're going to remove that part. So once you've done that, you can either leave the card just plain as it is, or you can take your punches and you can just punch along the edge. Now this is a Martha Stewart punch, so you're just going to line the card up and keep it level there so that you have the pattern on the card, and punch, and do the same again. Line the hearts up, keep the top edge level, and punch again, and you're going to work your way along that so that you have those hearts nice and neatly across the top of your card. So once you've finished your punching, that is the edge that you will have, or with any punch that you have, but you will have a decorative edge to the top of your card, and it doesn't matter really which way you fold it, it'll go either way. But once you've done that, you can now decorate that card up as you wish. And all I've done with this is use a die cut shape, stamped a sentiment into it, used the Martha Stewart butterfly punch, put some pearls down the centre, and added a ribbon with another pearl in the centre. And that is a very pretty card. But we're not going to stop there. We're going to make the double variety. So let's move on and make the double variety. So for this, I would suggest that you go back to your template, and what you need to do is find the centre of each of these panels. So if that is 10 centimetres wide, you need to make a mark at 5 centimetres and measure down, and again it's 12 centimetres, so we need to come down to there, and that's going to be your centre point. And you're going to do exactly the same on the other one and on the third one. You're going to find that centre point in the middle of each of these panels. So if that one is 16 centimetres, we need to come down to 8. So it's in the middle lengthways and in the middle widthways. And the same with this. So we need to come down to there. So there is your centre points on your template. Now what you need to do is cut 2 pieces of card the same. So with your template in place, you're going to cut yourself 2 pieces of card. And you're going to fold these slightly different. You're going to do one with a valley and a mountain fold that way, and the other one will be in the opposite way, so that you have the 2 points at the top. And it doesn't really matter if you have the 2 points on the outside, but they both need to be mirroring each other. and then you're going to cut them in different ways. So again, back to your template, and the cuts are going to be different. On one piece of card you're going to work from your centre dots and cut the card downwards, and you're going to make those slits on each of your 3 panels. That's on one piece of card. Now if you place your template on your card and use your score line, use your blue marked lines to tell you where to cut the card, you're just going to cut through your template, through your card, from your centre dot downwards, and that will give you cuts in your card in the centre of each of these panels. Now once you've made those cuts on that first piece of card, move it out the way because you don't want to cut that card anymore. Bring your second piece of card in, use your template again and pop it in, but this time you're going to cut from the centre dot upwards. So you're disregarding those blue lines now. That was your first piece of card. So you're now going to cut from the centre dot to the top edge. And again, if you keep your template in place on your card and cut, you will then have the cut lines on your good piece of card. So we're now cutting from the top edge down to that centre dot, and then you can remove your template because this now is ruined. But if you've got any sense, you will make yourself a template that you can keep all your marks on so that you know how to make the card next time. So back to this card. Here we have one piece of card with the cut lines coming down and another piece of card with the cut lines going up. So once you have your 2 pieces of card, you've got your cuts going from the centre line up to the dot on one, and from the middle of the centre panel coming down to the dot on the other. You have mountain and valley fold in one piece and a valley and a mountain fold in the other, and these now are just going to be slotted together. So these mountain and valley folds need to be opposites. So put your card panel through to the front and keep the valley and the mountain folds opposite. It's a bit fiddly, and then the last one slots in that way. And then if you push the cards together, you can see that they are now joined together. So once you pick the card up, if you look, you have this shape, and if you push out the 2 folds on each panel, you now have that kind of shape. And then if you crease it with your bone folder into nice sharp creases, you have your double zigzag card. Now if you remember, on the single one we punch the edge, and if you want to, you can do exactly the same on the double one, and this is the effect that you'll get with the punches that you use. So I've got my basic shape that comes down in steps. I've raided my stash, I've found some lovely silver netting, and I've found a couple of die cut shapes which I've put through an embossing folder, and I'm going to wrap them with some silver braid. So I've just put some double-sided tape on the back and tacked it in, and I'm just going to go through all the shapes so that we have that. Push it onto the double-sided tape at the back, add another little bit of tape just to keep it in place, and cut the extra bit off. And these then will sit on top of my card with the silver netting at the bottom, and the die cut shapes will just sit on either side. And that's the start of the card. Now you can get your flowers and your leaves in whichever method you have, either die cuts or punches or stamps even, but the ones I've used are spellbinders. I've used an anemone flower topper to create the flowers. I've used the foliage die for the leaves, and I've used the floral flourishes die to give me the pretty shapes that I need to add to the card. So with a dry run, I'm just going to place things to see where I might want to add them. So I think we'll have some leaves at the bottom, and we'll have one of the flourishes going along the top, and I'll use one of the larger flowers and add it just there. And all these shapes have been sparkled with Spray and Sparkle. Now once you have the front of the card done, I find it easier to stand the card and to work on the layers so that you can see whereabouts you want to add your flowers, and then just glue them in place with leaves and the flowers as you go along, and you can work up the layers. Now for the rest of the card, I've added pearls to the centre of the little flowers. I'm just going to add mulberry flowers to the centre of the big die cut shapes, and I thought we'd have one at the bottom and one at the top, and we'll place the other one just in there. That balances the card out, and then we'll add the ribbon bow just along there, and finish the centre off with a pearl that matches the ones in the centre of the flowers. We'll just pop that there, and that just hides the knot in the bow. And just get rid of the glue strings, and there's your card. So there you have 2 zigzag cards, one in blue, one in pink, all with the waterfall effect of the flowers coming down to the front of the card, and very easy to make.